Okay, so we had done the formula of cumulative distribution function. Let me quickly revise with you once again. In the last lecture, we were doing binomial distribution. Okay, and we had done the formula of CDF. So let X follow a binomial distribution with parameters N and P, where N denotes the number of trials and P denotes the probability of success. Then the cumulative distribution function is denoted by capital B, X and P is the probability that capital X takes the value less than equal to small x, which will be summation as y goes on from 0 to that small x, the distribution function, binomial distribution function, bxn, b, y and p. Now guys, this will be y because y is going from 0 to small x. So this will be b of y and p. Okay, to understand this, let's look at a practice question. Okay, so each of the six randomly selected cola drinkers is given a glass containing cola S and one containing cola F. It's the same example I'm picking from the lecture note. Each of the six randomly selected cola drinkers is given a glass containing cola S and one containing cola F. Okay. The glasses are identical. The glasses are identical in appearance, except for a code on the bottom to identify the cola. Okay. Let P denote the probability that a selected individual, let P denote the probability that a selected individual prefers cola S, and suppose it's given to us as 0.5. Okay, so I can say therefore X follows a binomial distribution with how many, what's the number of trials there? 6. And what's my probability of success? 0.5. So I am again discussing the question with you. Each of the 6 randomly selected cola drinkers is given a glass containing cola S and one containing cola F. The glasses are identical in appearance except for a code written on the bottom to identify the cola. So there are 2 types of cola. Okay, the glasses are exactly identical, but below the glass you can see either S written or F written. Let P denote the probability that a selected individual prefers cola S. That's my success. So I can say X follows a binomial distribution with parameters 6 and 0.5. This is my N and this is my P. The question asks us find probability of X equal to 3. Second thing, probability of X greater than equal to 3. And the third thing they ask us to find, probability of X less than equal to 1. So if I solve this question for you, it's a dummy question. How will I find the probabilities? Let's solve this question. So if I have to find probability of x equal to 3, that will be ncx p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x. That will be n is how much? 6. X is how much? 3. P is how much? 0.5 to the power 6 minus 0.5 to the power 3. 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5 to the power 6 minus 3, which is 3. So this will come out to be, if you solve this at home, 6 factorial upon 3 factorial 6 minus 3 factorial into 0.5 to the power 6. You can solve this at home. It will come out to be 0.313. Second thing, probability of x greater than equal to 3. Greater than equal to 3 means summation as x goes on from 3 to 6. Okay. NCX. NCX means 6CX p to the power x. 1 minus p means again 0.5 to the power 6 minus x. So I can write it like this. This will be 6C3 because x starts from 3. 6C3 0.5 to the power 3, 0.5 to the power 6 minus 3, which is 3, plus 6C4 0.5 to the power 4, 0.5 to the power 2, plus 6C5 0.5 to the power 5, 0.5 to the power 6 minus 5, which is 1, plus 6C6 0.5 to the power 6, 0.5 to the power 0. And you can calculate this whole term and you will see that the answer will come out to be 0.656. This is my solution for the second part. What will the solution be for the third part? So I can solve it. I can solve only on the top. Let me solve on the top. So I can erase the initial part. So what will probability of x less than equal to 1 be? Summation as x goes on from 0 to 1. Okay. Let me write it in a more clear way. Summation as x goes on from 0 to 1. 6cx 0.5 to the power x, 0.5 to the power 6 minus x, which will be 6c0 0.5 to the power 0, 0.5 to the power 6 plus 6c1 0.5 to the power 1, 0.5 to the power 6 minus 1, which is 5. 6 minus 1, which is 5. So now you can calculate it and this will exactly turn out to be 0.109. This will be my answer. So I hope all the students have understood how to solve binomial distribution questions. Any doubts to anyone? Anyone who is unclear, has a doubt? Yes, so one of the students has a doubt. Can you just write what doubt you have exactly? I know there's a bit of a problem today. I'm not able to hear your voices. You are able to hear my voices. Okay. Why is the probability 0.5? Because you see, this is the probability of success. 0.5 is the probability of success. It is this part is given to us. Probability that a selected individual prefers cola S is 0.5. This is given in the question. And this is the probability of success. So if P is 0.5, what will 1 minus P be? 1 minus 0.5, which is 0.5. So in this question, probability of success is also 0.5. Probability of failure is also 0.5. Very simple. I hope now I'm clear. The same person who had this doubt, can you send on chat whether you have understood it or not? Okay. So I hope it's clear. So let's move forward. Anyone else has any doubt? I'm still waiting for like 10-15 seconds. Ask your doubt, write on chat. I'll see the chat and I'll revert. Okay, so let's move forward. Your heading now is mean and variance. Mean and variance of binomial distribution. Mean and variance of the binomial distribution. So let's write the proposition. If X follows a binomial distribution with parameters n and p, then the mean of the binomial distribution is expected value of X, which is nothing but n into p, and the variance of the binomial distribution denoted by V of X is nothing but np into 1 minus p. And the standard deviation will be under root of variance of X, which will be under root of np into 1 minus p. Now, as of now, guys, proofs are not to be done. Proofs are not to be done. You should just, this is as of now. If there is any change in this semester's course, suppose they add the proofs, then I will do the proofs with you. I'll arrange a lecture for it. But as of now, the proofs for semester 3 stats are not to be done. So you should know the results. If X follows a binomial distribution with parameters n and p, then expected value of X is equal to np. Variance of X is equal to np into 1 minus p. But for inquisitive students, you will see that proof is there in my lecture note. Proof is there in my lecture note. So those who are interested in checking out how we got these results, please check out my lecture note. You will see I have done the proof for mean and variance. But the reason I am not discussing it in the lecture is because it's not a part of semester 3 as of now. Because I have been teaching this paper for many years now and it's not a part of your course. The proof is not a part of your course. If in case they add this semester, then I'll do it with you. But if you are keen on looking at the proof for this, it's solved in the lecture note. Okay. So let's do a practice question on this. You can get questions on geometric mean and harmonic mean. So one of the students has asked this doubt. Yes, you can. But again, chances are very less because actually what you get from unit 1 is mostly trimmed mean. But still you should know the formula for geometric mean and harmonic mean. And I think they are given in my lecture notes, the formula for geometric mean and harmonic mean. Okay, so let's do a practice question. Let's do a practice question, clearing this off. If 75% of all purchases, at a certain store are made with a credit card, and X denote the number among 10 randomly selected purchases, the number among 10 randomly selected purchases made with a credit card okay, then what is X following? X follows a binomial distribution with what's my N here? N is 10. Number among 10 randomly selected purchases made with a credit card. And what's the success? Success is 0.75. Okay, so 75% of all purchases at a certain store are made with a credit card. This is the probability of success, which is 0.75. And how many purchases you are making? 10 randomly selected purchases. So N is 10. So here my N is 10 and my success probability of success is 0.75. The question asks you find the mean and the variance. So how will I find the mean? Mean of this distribution is expected value of X, which is N into P, which is 10 into 0.75, which is 7.5. Okay. And what's the variance? It's NP into 1 minus P. So 10 into P is 0.75 into 1 minus P is 0.25, which is 1.875. So guys, how will I interpret 7.5? That means if I am making 10 randomly selected purchases, okay, then out of those purchases, out of those transactions, around 7.5 transactions are made with a credit card. Okay, around 7.5, or I can say the number of successes will be around 7.5. If I conduct this experiment multiple times, then the average number of successes will be close to 7.5. Okay, so second thing they asked, this was the first thing they asked. Second question they asked, find the probability that X lies within one standard deviation of its mean value. Find the probability that X lies within one standard deviation of its mean value. Now guys, first of all, what will standard deviation be? I forgot to calculate that, by the way. So standard deviation will be square root of variance, which will be square root of 1.875. So how much will it come out to be? 1.37. So standard deviation will come out to be 1.37. This is my standard deviation. So what are they asking? They are asking, what is the probability that the random variable X lies within one standard deviation of the mean value? Within one standard deviation of the mean value means E of X minus sigma and E of X plus sigma. Within one standard deviation of the mean value means from the mean value minus sigma and from the mean value plus sigma. So this will be, what is E of X? 7.5. So 7.5 minus 1.37, which is the standard deviation, less than equal to X, less than equal to 7.5 plus 1.37. So this will be X lying between 6.13 and 8.87. So guys, what will this be? what will be the probability of X? I can erase the question now. What will be the probability of X lying between 6.13 and 8.87? That will simply be, therefore, probability of X lying between these two values will be probability of X equal to 7 or X equal to 8. Guys, X takes only integer values. Okay, X takes only integer values. You can't have transactions in decimals. So X takes integer values. So what are the integers between 6.13 and 8.87, 7 or 8? That means 10C7, 0.75 to the power 7, 0.25 to the power 10 minus 7, which is 3, or means plus 10C8, 0.75 to the power 8, 0.25 to the power 10 minus 8, which is 2. You can solve this at home. It will come out to be 0.532. This is my answer. See, ideally, they'll not, in this semester, when they ask you questions based on permutations and combinations, you can even leave your answer here. You can even leave your answer here. You don't need to actually work on combinations. Even this answer is fine. So now with this, I end the lecture today. Anyone has any doubts, any query, please ask. You can send me on chat your doubt. If you have not understood any part of this question basically had two parts. They had given all this information to you. They had asked what is the mean and variance to directly use the formula. And they had asked what's the probability that X lies within one standard deviation of the mean. Within one standard deviation means EX minus sigma and EX plus sigma के बीच में. अगर यहाँ पे 1 की जगह 2 होता, suppose they would have given 2 standard deviations, then this would have been minus 2 sigma and plus 2 sigma. Had it been 2 standard deviation, it would be minus 2 sigma and plus 2 sigma. So right now, let me come back to the original one only. Okay. Any doubts to anyone? Please ask.